Hey, Jules.
Hello, Lauren.
How you going?
Great. How are you?
Good. So basically, I thought we could have a bit of a chat to give our audience a bit of a first-hand look at how COVID-19 is impacting a small business and how you are going about, what changes you are making in your business to try and cope with it. So maybe just to start, for those of you audiences out there who don't know you, can you just explain who you are quickly and what you do?
Yes. So my name's Julia Spicer. I have a business based here in Gundawindi called Engage and Create Consulting, and we work with small businesses and community groups around regional Australia to help them work out what it is that they want to do and how they're going to implement it. So we work with businesses around strategic planning, accessing and writing grants for people, and also helping manage projects and design projects. I have a fabulous team of ladies who work with me, none other than Lauren Mara, Yasmin Taylor and Nat Woods. So we usually are all based in Gundawindi, so it does seem very weird to be in the office with none of you here. But obviously one of the things that's happened through COVID is we are all working from home as much as possible. And are a business, I guess, that in some ways we can do that. But certainly, yeah, it's a bit lonely being in here without any of your happy faces.
No, I miss you. I miss talking. So how has COVID-19 impacted on your business?
So in a couple of different ways. So let's talk about the work that I'll talk about it in terms of the work that we do for others, and then what we've had to do internally, and obviously some of that as one of the people impacted. But if we talk about the work that we do as a small business and how COVID has impacted that, I more so than the rest of the team, I deliver a lot of training to groups of people. That has all been knocked on the head. I was organised to speak at conferences. That's all been knocked on the head. So the logistical impact has been that work that we were meant to be doing has either disappeared or been postponed. And obviously the challenge in terms of me as the business owner is, yes, that work might happen, but when is difficult to know. And so from a cash flow point of view, that makes it really hard to manage what's happening. So we have certainly had work that has stopped and is gone from both the diary and the calendar, but equally gone from what was income that we thought would be coming. So that has absolutely been a challenge. You know me, Loz, I'm a glasses half full kind of person. So as quickly as we have lost some work, there has been some other work that's come in, not to the same financial amounts, but certainly because of COVID, people are looking at how they can deliver work over Zoom. We have delivered some of the training that we might normally do face-to-face. We've done that over Zoom and that worked quite well. So there has been some different things, businesses reaching out, looking for support, looking at what grants might be available and things like that. So as you know, we still have work, it's just different, I guess. And certainly looking at what we are able to access through both state and federal governments, that's certainly something that me as the business owner, I've been looking into.
Losing a lot of work can probably be a bit overwhelming for any small business, but when there's no end in sight, I guess more so. What's your advice to small businesses if they have lost work? What's the first step, do you think, to make it less overwhelming?
Yeah. So particularly for those of us in small business where we are the boss and we have a team, which is exactly my situation, as you know, one of the challenges is to be able to be really open with the team without terrifying them. And this seems weird having this conversation with you as one of the people I am trying not to terrify. So so it is really, it is challenging, right? Like it can be really, I have found times like this quite lonely and isolating, because I don't want to burden the rest of the team with what's happening. You're all knowing that things are changing. We have a pretty open policy at the best of times in our room around who knows what. But I guess part of that is, where can a small business owner go and who can they have some of these conversations with so that they're not overwhelming their team, because that's not what I want to be doing at the moment. And I also don't necessarily want to take some of this home. You know, I don't want to be overwhelming Tony in this situation either, and giving him something else to stress about in a time that's already pretty stressful. So for me, I went straight to my accountant. So I rang Dale straight away and talked to him about what am I able to, what can I do? He knows my business. Our accountants generally know our business, know what we're able to do. I know accountants are working overtime at the moment to make sure that they can be accessing things for their clients. So I went straight to my accountant. I went straight to my bank manager. And literally just talked through things. This is how much money I've got in the bank at the moment. If we didn't get paid any more money at all, we have 3 months of runway. You know, this is how much it costs a month to keep the doors open and the lights on and everybody working at the hours that you all work. You know, this is the situation. So I think the sooner people can have those conversations, it doesn't necessarily make it easier, but it gives us longer time to make decisions. So in these situations, I want to stay in control of making decisions about my business. And to do that, I need to have information and I need to have people who can help me make decisions. You guys, as the team, are a part of that decision-making process. Equally, my advisors and supporters around my business are part of that decision making as well. And I think the sooner we can see some of those guys, the sooner we can have a conversation with accountants and bank managers and chambers of commerce, if you're a member of them and they're a useful, you know, support network, the sooner we can do some of that, the longer you have to be able to make decisions. And I think that's what's going to be the difference for some of us, is that we get to stay in control of decisions rather than them being forced upon us because we've left it too long or too late to have some of these conversations.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Just quickly going back, when you said you might be able to access some state and federal government assistance, which you'll be looking into, is there anything that stands out to you that you've come across that you'd recommend other small businesses looking at too?
Yeah, so we definitely all of us need to be looking into the JobKeeper side of things. So so that will be one, and obviously some of this, there's lead time around legislation being put into place and work happening at a federal level. So federally, certainly the JobKeeper one will be one that will be really important to have a look at. For Queensland government side of things, the Q-Rider loans are certainly one that I would be encouraging businesses to have a look at. So that is a low interest loan that you can access through Queensland government, and Q-Rider is managing that. I would be having a look at that. Talking to my accountant, that's not me personally, I'm not looking at that at the moment. I might in time, but at the moment I looked into it, but I've decided I don't need to go down that path at the moment. The JobKeeper one is certainly the case. As we all do our BAS this quarter, you know, the ability for some of the support around PAYG will be able to come back into the business. So there'll be some money that comes back through our next couple of BASs that from an ATO point of view will be really handy for businesses. And at a Queensland government level, it is certainly looking at, you know, what are the opportunities. I'm not big enough for payroll tax here, but there might be other small businesses who are at a Queensland level. But I would be suggesting that people, the one message that I would want people to get out of this is to be talking to their accountants around what's available for them at a federal level, and then at any of their state levels. That's going to be really important. We're really lucky in Queensland. We have the Department of Employment, Small Business and Training, and the Business Queensland website has got some really good information. So that's really great, but equally, the other state departments would as well. So I'd be getting people to look at both a state level and a federal level.
Okay. So away from support, for people who have maybe a bit of time on their hands, they might have lost a bit of work but can still maintain employees right now, especially with some of those support networks around from the governments. I mean, is now the time to kind of be doing those jobs that you have been putting off, or maybe working on your business, looking at how it's operating, and I guess what support can you provide in that way?
Yeah. So it is one of those times where some people may be finding that their you've got space in your days to spend time working on the business. Others could be more stressed and more busy than they've ever been. But let's talk to the group that have got some extra time at the moment. And working on the business is a good time to be looking at this. There is no greater challenge that the world has ever had than what's happening at the moment. And if we can get businesses through this, we can get businesses through anything. As you know, I have had health issues in recent years, and I figured if I can get through cancer and have a small business, COVID, bring it. I dare it to try and take me down now. So that's certainly the attitude that I'm coming at it with. But as you know, we've had businesses that have approached us around how they can use this time well and not become overwhelmed. And I think that's the really key thing. How we can uncomplicate some of this and really just cut through and work on what is important to businesses. I think that's a real skill set that we have as Engage and Create Consulting that all of us can do. And so that is why the Engage program that we had put together last year, we've been able to add to that and add some value to that around helping people develop business plans, doing some group coaching over Zoom, providing some time for people to work one-on-one with opportunities. And as you know, I've spent most of this week either in group coaching or working with businesses one-on-one through some strategies at the moment. So think about what people are going to be asking of you. If you don't actually access any of the grants available, but you need to go and talk to your bank about a loan for different things, they are going to want to know that your business foundations are really solid, that you have thought through what is going on at the moment, thought through where are the opportunities for you to innovate and pivot your business. And that's where we can help pull some of that together. So I think, timing, in a weird way, timing was right for us to launch some of the work that we've been doing, Lauren, and the messages within the program are still very much the same. What are our goals? What are our strategies? What's important to us? Why do we do what we do? Who are we doing it for? Because we know that, there is so much change happening in business at the moment and so many opportunities for innovation.
So where can people go to find support from you, just talking about those things you've just mentioned?
Well, I'm glad you asked. This is probably where I need you or Yaz to tell me where they should be going. No, they will find information on our website. So if they go to engageandcreateconsulting.com.au, they will find, people will find our thriving through COVID-19. And as you know, we spend a lot of time deciding whether we should be talking about thriving or surviving. But I do think that there is an opportunity for businesses to come out the other side of this more strategic and stronger than they were, and that's really what we want to be able to be part of. And equally, if people are on social media and following along, if you have a look at our Engage and Create Consulting Facebook page, there's certainly information around what we're up to and different ways that we're working with businesses through this COVID time. You'll find that on the Facebook page too. So website, Facebook page would be where I'd send people.
Cool. And also good old-fashioned phoning works as well too.
Oh yes, yes. And we are becoming wizards at Zoom, so.
We are. Cool. Thanks, Jules. I think that's all we needed.
Lovely. Well, pleasure talking to you. Thank you for taking these on. I know, you know, when we were talking about it, it was really a way about how we can provide good, practical, useful information through this time. And I know I've had the sneak previews of the other interviews that you've done, and I think they'll be really useful for people. So thank you, Lauren, for doing this for us at the moment.
Pleasure. And I'll see you when I see you.
Yes, I'm glad we have it. So maybe just, I know we've finished, but just as one other thing, you know, as a team, we are, you know, we're having our weekly Zoom catch up and we are texting each other and we're sending photos. And I think that's really important that we can keep that teaminess going, even when we're not all in the office having coffee together.
It's nice. Very nice. Anywho, well, thank you. We'll talk soon. Bye.
See you later.